How's your sleep? You sleeping good? Because most people don't sleep very good. And of course, that's like one of the pillars for your health. Hey guys, it's Bob Ferngren, and I have now dedicated my life to helping people who are getting close to 50, over 60, over 70, over 80. We can keep going if we want, but I'll help anybody that wants help. And so I'm dedicated right now to helping people with their health that are, getting to the second half of the game. That's when you win the game, right? In the fourth quarter, football teams, fourth quarter. I'm dedicated to helping people with their health. Why not live a healthy life all the way till hopefully you get to paradise? That's really my goal, lead people to Jesus Christ. Your health, your finances, and your relationships. What if all three of those, you could say, you would grade them out at a B or an A? I have a B in finances, I have a B in my health, and I have a B in my relationships. What does B mean? Above average. And what does average mean? You're fat, you're overweight, you're chronically ill. Those are the statistics. What else does it mean? It means you're probably getting divorced. 50+% of people get divorced. That's obviously average. And it also means that you're in debt. That's average people. So let's get you a B or an A. Some people might want an A. What about if you had A's in finance and health and relationships? Woo! That'd be a great life, huh? In any case, let's talk about sleep today, right? The big ones are obviously your nutrition, your supplementation, your reducing stress, drinking lots of water, getting rid of things like food that you buy in a box, processed foods. Excuse me, I burped right there. I had a great breakfast, healthy breakfast, lots of protein. Reduce stress and get the right amount of sleep for you, right? The right amount of sleep. What if every day you woke up refreshed? So here's some tips. I hope this helps you, but I think taking drugs to put you to sleep are just knocking you out. I don't think that's real sleep. I don't think you're getting into, REM. I don't think you're at all getting refreshed from taking drugs before you go to bed. What I do believe is there's some wonderful herbs out there. There's some great companies that provide sleep solutions. My company actually uses peptides, and they're naturally derived. They're not made in a lab like 99.9% of peptides are, meaning our peptides come from plants and animals. You don't have to use my peptides, but that might be a great solution for your sleep. What if you could actually sleep? Wow. I also believe that you can't go to bed with the world and the weight of the world on your shoulders. I think if you just, before you go to bed, you should start listing the things you're grateful for. I'd probably start with the fact that you live in a bed, or you're going to sleep in a bed, and you're probably in a house, and that house probably has air conditioning, and there's possibly, your spouse is next to you in that bed, and possibly you've reproduced and there's children in your house, or you can think fondly of your children, and you get, every day I thank God for air. I thank God for water, food, the house over my head. I'm over 100 gratitude things every day. But what if you went to bed and you listed everything you're grateful for? It's very hard. I think it's actually impossible for your brain to hold two thoughts at once. You might say you're a multitasker. There's no such thing. Your brain can only focus on. Now that focus may only last a nanosecond, but what if you controlled your brain and started just pumping in positives? What if you read a few verses from the Bible, positive verses from the Bible? What if you just went into an attitude of gratitude? What if you started just being positive before you went to bed? Listen, there's a 99% chance. Just that alone would make a difference in your sleep. But it's like everything. I talked to you about my recent blood work and how great it was, and God gets all the glory for that. Well, I put work into that. That just didn't happen. I told you I eat right about 80% of the time. I've reduced my body fat by over 30 pounds in the last 5 years. I have improved my workouts. I take the best world-class supplements that exist on the planet Earth. I've reduced my stress a whole lot. Although, to be honest with you, I had a lot of stress when my most recent 2 children came along. Listen, at that point I was in my 60s and I'm having babies. And so that kind of caused me stress. And now I've worked through that. I'm sleeping better. They're sleeping better, which certainly helps my stress. I mean, there's more to that. I'm married to a wonderful, wonderful woman who supports the heck out of me. And she's definitely a biblical woman, so that aligns correctly with me. I mean, everything good going on in my life, God gets the glory for it, but I did it intentionally. And so your sleep needs to be important enough to you. I mean, if you want to live a long, healthy life, if you want to repair and recover, if you know, especially if you're working out, I mean, you got kids and they're stressful, and your job and your boss and blah, 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 blah. You have to pay attention to it. You've got to put the work in on it. You put the work in it, great things are going to happen. Like I said, guys, I'm doing these videos to help people that are near 50, in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, you know, to live a quality life, to have great relationships, have phenomenal finances, and be healthy. Why not? We can stop what's happened in America. We can be the ones that do it, and we can leave a legacy. Let's leave a legacy. Let's go.